Hey guys, Dave here from Iographer. I was gonna go outside and shoot some great tutorials this weekend. I have a bunch of new gear I wanted to show you guys, but as you can see, it's pouring rain outside. At least in Southern California, this is like detrimental. We can't go outside, it's too wet. So this is a great time to teach you the basics, the beginner level of Premiere Pro. If you haven't tried it before, this is the video for you. I've been talking to you about it, been getting emails about it because I talked about it in the last video, and Premiere Pro is awesome. Now, if you've tried Premiere Pro before, do not waste your time. In fact, stop the video right now and go watch something else. Tons of stuff on YouTube. But if you've never tried it, download it. Let's go in it together. You get a free trial. Let's see if you like it. It's a great program. We're gonna do all this today on Iographer TV. Okay, as I said in the intro, people are asking me, how the heck do I use this Premiere Pro? It looks super complicated. There's just so many bells and whistles, and there are. It is a professional editing application, but you don't need to know how to be a professional immediately. You just need to know how to bring your footage in, how to cut it, how to add graphics, and how to export it. Honestly, maybe color correct it, do some audio tweaks. I mean, there's things that you can learn on the fly here that I'm going to show you. I'm going to get you up to speed in Premiere quickly. This is the same method that I taught my high schoolers that I taught how to use Premiere Pro, and they went on to do great things. So you can learn this as well. It is an easy program. So let's launch Premiere Pro. We go down here in my dock, it's PR, and we're gonna launch it up here and see what it looks like. And if you haven't, go ahead and download this. It is a free trial, so you can go to adobe.com, I believe is the website. I'll put the link right here. And download a trial of Premiere Pro so you can follow along. Okay, so this is gonna be where it opens up your splash screen. It used to be really tiny. It honestly used to be like a little tiny screen. Now it's got all kinds of information in there. So here's a bunch of stuff here. We don't need to go into this right now. We'll go into it later in a separate video when we go more advanced. But right now, you're just going to go into New Project. And we're going to call this Demo. And I can't spell tonight. Demo 1. And I have it saved. You're going to want to save it to your local drive. I have it saved into my Movies folder, into a Premiere folder in there. And it's all my Premiere stuff. Same thing with your scratch discs. You want to have them in the same folder as that Premiere. So take a moment to do all that. And then once you're done, you're just going to click right here, the OK button. And this is the Premiere Pro interface. It's very scary. It's got 4 giant panels. What the heck do we do with all these panels? Well, let's go and let's explain this, how the interface works. So I'm going to go in the workflow method, and then you'll see how it works after this. So down here is, in fact, it's funny because they have so many different tabs here. These are all tabs. So if I click on that, opens up the info tab, libraries, etc. But you want to be in the project panel right here. This is the project panel. This is where you're going to import all your media. You're going to see all these things in here that you're going to use in your project. So we're going to import all of our stuff here. Stills and video. We're going to import music. We're going to import any graphics we want, photos, whatever. It's all going to be right here. Down here it's got 2 buttons. One is an icon view and one is a list view. And we'll look at that in a moment when we import some footage, and you can see what that means. So let's leave all these other tabs alone. This is the project demo. Project panel, and this is where you're going to find all your footage. You're going to import into here. Once it's imported into here, you can double click on one of them and it's going to open up here in the source panel. So this is the source panel, and inside the source panel there's effects controls, audio clip mixers, metadata, big words, don't be scared. We might look at the effects controls a little bit, but we're basically going to have our footage in here, and we're going to learn how to cut it right in here. Once we're done with the footage, we're going to bring it into this area where we have what's called a sequence. So the sequence is your timeline, what's going on in the video. the beginning, the transitions, the music, all of this stuff is going to be right across here and based on time. And the program monitor here is going to reflect what is in the timeline here. So as we scroll through it, you'll see everything scroll up here. This is where your video is going to be showing. Now, Premiere Pro has several settings here. These are like custom window tabs. So here's learning. This is assembly. You just want to stick in editing right now. If you want to go, I'll just show you these. This is color. If you want to do color correcting later, here's visual effects. Here's graphics, audio. One thing I will say is it is very intuitive once you learn the workflow. And the best way to learn this, people, is that you go in here, learn these basic things I'm doing, and then start playing around in this application. The more you play, the more you're going to learn it. It's going to be like the back of your hand. I used to have students just come in here and edit and just have fun times doing editing. How do you do this? Well, why don't you try it and let's see what you did. And they would try different things and they would figure them out on their own. It's very intuitive. All right, so this is all of the different interfaces. So we've got, like I said, the project panel, the source monitor. From the source monitor, it goes into the timeline where you see the sequence. The sequence will play in the program monitor. And if you like to, these are all resizable. If you feel the need, you can drag them around, make them bigger or smaller. Some people like to have the program monitor and the source clip as 50-50. I'm more of like, I want this to be the biggest part because that's my finished product. All right, so that's easy. Now, let's import some footage so we can get started. So I'm going to double click in here or press Command-I. You can also go to the top here and go File, whoops. Go into File and Import. Okay. So I have in my footage folder here, I downloaded some Premiere demo stuff here. So I'm actually going to bring in this whole folder, and we'll just click on that. And it brings in the whole folder. And here is Premiere demo. I'm going to double click on that. And I've got a bunch of stock footage of California, Los Angeles specifically, and some audio music that I brought in. And this is all stuff I downloaded from pond5.com. And let's see if we can bring Pond5 up for a second. It's one of the websites I like to go to. They have lots of cool footage, great music, different templates, and their prices are very reasonable. You can certainly find your own footage if there's free places. But what's nice about this is that you can find something you like, and if you click on it, you can go over here and say download preview and download a clip. So it'll bring in a clip for you to edit and play around with, and you can start telling stories and learning how to do this on your own. Get your own footage there. All right, so I have my footage, and I'm going to want to start with, I think, this aerial into Los Angeles. So I'm going to double click on it. Brings it up here, like I said, into the source monitor. So now that I have it in here, I'm going to play this. How long is this clip? It goes for 10 seconds. So let's say I want these things to be kind of short. And I'm going to go maybe 6 seconds into this. Or actually, let's see. From here, I want to kind of start a little later. So I'm going to start at 1 second in. Now, right here, there's these two icons. And you can press one or the other. One is for in and one is for out. And if you look carefully, you'll see the little like tilde thing right here. I don't know if that's called a tilde. But I know how to use this, and I taught my students by pressing I and O. I for in, O for out. So I'm going to press the letter I. And you see it's grayed out now. This is the footage that we have that's live that we're going to be using. All this is dead, and we're not using that. We've cut that. So I'm going to scroll, and we're going to go to 6 seconds so that this is a 5-second clip. And there we go. And I'm going to press the letter O. And now I've got an in and an out. And right here you'll see these two icons where I put the little hand over. So it says drag video only. And this says drag audio only. There's no audio involved with this at all. So I'm just going to take the drag video only. And as I drag it into the timeline, you see the little plus button here. Now, why I like to work this way, let me show you for 1 second. If I go in here and I go new sequence, so this is an area that you can get all kinds of things from Don't worry about any of these except maybe the adjustment layer right now. But this is where you would get a new sequence. Now, when you click this, it's going to ask you all these questions like what kind of sequence do you want? What kind of video? Blah, blah, blah. And that could be kind of complicated and daunting to some people. What format is it, etc. Well, it's really easy, especially let's say you shot all this with your mobile device, your Android or your iPhone. And, you just want to, it's all very similar. So you just want to drag this in and the little plus button will show up and it's going to make a sequence automatically that matches the footage that you're using. So we'll let go. And there it is. And it's perfect. You don't have to do anything else. You got your 5 seconds in here. It's great. Down here is an area that you can zoom in and out. So you can do some stuff like that if you want more room in the timeline. So there we go. And then next we're going to look for something else. So we went from going into, let me just see this for a second. There we go. So you see that we have zoomed in. And then it will cut to some downtown lovely cars driving by. We'll see all the traffic. So I'll do another in, and then we'll just go a few seconds of that. Let's see, maybe that's kind of boring. So we'll just go a shorter one. And then I'll drag this clip in here. And now you see we go from there, and then we switch to that. And right here, this little cut here, you might want to add a transition. So we can show you how to do that later, or we can add it now. But we're going to add it now. So we're going to go into effects right here. So remember these panels? Here's effects, and then here's all kinds of effects. And I used to tell my students, go in here and start dragging effects onto clips and seeing what they do. And then you can kind of understand all of that. It'll get easier and easier as time goes on. We're going to go in here and choose video transitions, and there's all these transitions, slides and wipes and all kinds of stuff. I'm just going to go into dissolve, and I'm going to do a cross dissolve. So I drag it over here, and I split the two things, and there's a cross dissolve, and you'll see it in a moment. We're going to go from there, and it crosses over to that. So that's simple, easy way to add your transition. Drag it on, you're good to go. Okay, let's go back to project demo here. Let's double click, see the footage again. So we went from there to the street. So then we're going to go from there to maybe some Beverly Hills a little bit, I think. Let's see what this is here. Yeah, this is nice too. So we'll do a little aerial of this. We'll take another in point there, letter I. We're going to go letter O. And there we go, another one. So we go from here to some traffic to beautiful. And then we're going to get on the freeway. Excuse me. We're going to get on the freeway here, because what would something about Los Angeles be without freeway? We're going to drag some freeway in here, and that's way too long already. So I see this as being way too long compared to the other clips. 1 second. Let me just make this bigger. So these are all small. So I can go over here, click and drag. I can also go inside of here and these tools here. And here's a little razor blade. So I can go in here and go, yeah, about right here. I want to make a cut. And then come back to my selection tool, select that, and delete it. So now I've got this little thing going on here. And definitely going to want to add some more transitions and make it more smooth. And we're going, next we're going to be hitting, let's see, we got to see the Hollywood sign. So we're going to see the Hollywood sign for a few seconds. So we'll just do this. And let's just go see how it goes. We'll go to there. And there's the Hollywood sign. So we're on the freeway. And then we see the Hollywood sign. And then we're here at Venice Beach. And this is all the people walking in Venice Beach. And we're going to bring that in here. And we'll shorten that up a little bit. And you see how you start putting things together. And if you ever at any one time wanted to switch things around, you can drag like the Hollywood clip. I could bring it up and move it around here. You know, I can go in between these clips, right click and choose ripple delete. And that's going to bring everything back over like that. I'll just do Command Z and Command Z again to back out of those. Okay. And then we're going to end this beautiful picture with these little boys playing at the beach. Because I wish I was a little boy playing at the beach right now. Actually, it reminds me of my son, so I wanted to use that footage. So there we go. So here's our stuff. We're going to add a couple more transitions. So I'm going to go into the effects panel. We'll do some more cross dissolves here. So we'll add one there. Drag it over. And there's lots of shortcuts for all these things, but I do not want to make this more complicated than it already seems to be to some people. So we've got all of this, right? And maybe in the beginning, I want to add a little dip to black. So it's more dramatic. So we click the button and there it kind of goes from black, fades in. And then we're going to fade over to this one here, cross dissolve. So there you go. You kind of understand how you can put these things together, how simple it is. So once again, we're in the project panel here. This is where we bring all our footage in. The project panel takes us up here into the source monitor. When we double click, it opens up here. This is where we do our in and out points. We bring audio, video, or both into the timeline over here, so where we can see the sequence move along. And then that is shown up here in the program monitor where we can see everything. Okay. Now down here I was showing you those icon views. So let me just double click once again. Here's all our footage. And we're right now in icon view. I can make them bigger. I can make them smaller. I can now go into list view. And this is actually how I learned how to edit. They were just always lists and you had to have really good titles so you knew what the heck you were doing. But now it's super visual and I think it's fantastic. All right. And then once again, let's take a look at the effects tab. So I'm going to click on, and I don't mean this effects tab. This is different than the other effects tab up here. And I should call it effects controls actually. I apologize. Effects controls tab. And why are we going to look in that? Well, let me just go back here. Let's see. Let me find a good one. Maybe the Hollywood sign. I'm going to click on that for a second. Or actually, let me see. This opening sequence. I'm going to click on the effects controls, and inside here you need to learn all of these and play around with them and see what they do. Right here it says motion, and so we're looking at different things like position and scale, and you just drag things around and see what they do. Right here's a reset button if you're terrified and you screw up. Here's your scale, and we're going to reset that. Rotation, if you want to make things rotate around, you can do that. This changes the anchor point. I'm not going to get into anchor points, but it's basically where you're rotating. So right now it rotates in the middle, and I don't know if you can see this little blue dot. That's my anchor point right there. And if I moved it over to this side, it would be spinning this way. Okay? So that is something that you can learn. You don't need this up front, is what I'm trying to say. Next, you've got the opacity stuff. So if you're going to drag, let's just get another piece of footage here for a second. Let's just say I put it on top here. And so I don't see the other thing anymore. So now I'm going to click on that layer. I'm going to go into the opacity, and we're going to lower the opacity. And now you see how you can see underneath. There's also blend modes. If you guys have ever played with Photoshop, you can color burn and screen things over. So lots of stuff here that you can play around with and just learn. So I like that a lot. Go in here, don't be afraid, just go in here and play and learn. And like I said, this is where you would scale things up. Now, one thing you can do, if you look at all of these little icons here, you'll see a little stopwatch. These are little stopwatches, and that means that these things can be animated. And I don't want to make things too complicated, so I'm going to drag a piece of footage over here for a second. And there it is. So if I wanted to maybe, I don't know, bring it in from left to right, for example, the beginning of the clip. So we'll go to the beginning of the clip, and I'm going to go in this position frame here, and I'm going to drag it over till we don't see it. And that is where it's starting position. I'm going to press this little button here, and that made a little diamond or a keyframe right there. And then about this far in, I'm going to bring it all the way back over. Whoops. There we go. There we go. And what's going to happen now? And it made a keyframe for me automatically. When you start one keyframe, it's going to look to have a second one. So now I'm going to press the button, and now we're animating. Whoa. So see, it's just fun to do these things. It's to learn how all these things move. And you can see this is not a very scary software to use. Premiere Pro is simple, I think. My students thought so once they got the hang of it. I just think you really need to get away from the iMovies and try a more powerful editor, because once you get the hang of everything, you're able to tell some great stories. So let's delete that. Next thing you might want to do is, so we're going to bring in some audio here. This is music, and I'm going to bring this over. And I like to go in here and drag this, and what I'm doing is clicking in between the audio 1 and audio 2 layer, and I bring it down a little bit so I can see the wave levels better. And I can zoom out a little bit and kind of see where things are. And right now it's just super loud, so I'm going to want to tweak this and make it, see how the red is over here? These are your audio levels. And when you get things up in the red there, you don't want that. It's going to sound distorted. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click in the middle here, and I'm just going to start dragging down. You'll see how it's lowering by 12 decibels or whatever. And that should be a little better. There we go. And this is super long audio, so I'm going to go into my little razor tool, and I'm going to cut it right there and go back to this and grab the piece of footage. And then I want this to kind of fade off here. I might want to put a little text here so I can see what it is, or tell people what it is, I should say. But then I want to kind of fade out. So I'm going to go into my effects panel again, and we'll close all this, and I'm going to choose audio transitions, crossfade, exponential fade. And here's the fade right there. And if I double click on, if I double click on it, it's going to open it back up here in the effects control panel. So this is now in my effects control, and instead of doing things like position and scale and things like that, it's just showing me how I can fix this this transition here. So I'm going to drag it. I want to make it a little bit longer so it fades out a little nicer. So let's listen. Okay. Instead of having an abrupt ending, we've got something there. Okay. Let's go back here. Let's make this a little shorter. Whoop. Shorter. There we go. So we start off. And we've got our nice transitions in place. And we're doing a little California travel video. So now at the end, we kind of would like some kind of graphic or whatever. And you certainly could bring in different, I don't have anything prepared right now, but we could bring in different Photoshop files and animate them. You can bring in, different logos, etc. But we're going to go into the graphics panel right here, the top here, and you're like, oh no, all of a sudden everything's changed. What do I do now? You didn't talk about this. Don't worry about it. We're just going to look for some graphics here that we like. So here's the stuff that comes with it, and then you can also go to Adobe Stock and find all these cool things, and some stuff's free and some stuff is paid, and these are all really well made professional graphics. So we click on free. Here's a bunch of fun stuff here that we can go and use if we like. There's 3 pages of it right now. But we can just go back to my templates, and this is the stuff that comes free, and that's just on Premiere when you get it. And I'm going to put this here at the end. I want to make an impact. And now it's going in there, and then there's our message. And we're going to shorten this up a little bit and bring that over and make this smaller. And now, there we go. And then we're going to double click and select it, and I'm going to write, let's go highlight California. And enjoy California. Enjoy the surf. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything else. And now we've got too big. California's too big, so we're going to shrink that. There we go. You just have to select it. So I've selected that. And I don't know if like red is really, we're more like the golden state, right? So let's see if we can get some kind of cool gold kind of color. I don't know if that's gold, but we'll see. And then let's play this out. California, enjoy the surf. So I might want to make this a little longer, and we'll bring all the music a little longer and actually maybe go past it so you can have that. California, enjoy the surf. And you can add different ones in here. There's all kinds of titles that animate and do all kinds of fun stuff, but you can see how easy it is, how customizable it is. There's just so much that you can do with all this stuff. Let's see. I'm really making ugly colors here. Actually, that's black on black, so that's not going to look too hot. Let's just do some kind of a blue. And let's see what that looks like. There we go. California, enjoy the surf. So that's our little video. That's how easy it is to put all of the stuff here. We're going to go up to the color panel, and I've got this selected here. And now Lumetri color. Do I want to change some color, make it warmer? So see, now all of a sudden it's getting warmer. And maybe I want to bring the exposure a little down and maybe add just a tiny bit of contrast. Let's play around with the highlights a little bit. And maybe the shadows a little bit. And we can leave the whites and the blacks, but maybe we'll do a little more saturation in the colors. So that's nice. And what it did now is it added the Lumetri. If I go up here into my effects controls, you'll see it added Lumetri color here. And if I do all this and I hate it, I can always click on this FX button and it goes back to the regular way. And then there's also things, let me actually go back to, let's go back. So this is the original footage. And let me show you, there's stuff that you can go out there and get that are called LUTs. And that means lookup tables. And here's some stuff that comes standard, but I'm gonna browse to where I have LUTs. And let's see, where's my LUTs? I think these are them. Nope, this is Lightroom. So let's see, here we go. LUTs pack. So here is a bunch of LUTs. They look like nothing but white little things. I'm going to do this teal and orange, and then all of a sudden, look, I've got this interesting color here to make things look a little more filmic or whatever. And maybe I want something else, so I can dive into this and pick a different LUT. And then here's this LUT. And you can, of course, go in here and change them further if you'd like, whatever. So there's all kinds of things you can do with this program. And just, I hope you see the value that it's already making your videos look better. From bringing in all kinds of different music, to the transitions, to the effectability, to the ability to animate things. So anyway, I love this program. I really want you guys to test it out. And what's nice is, let me just click on a clip here for 1 second. And we'll just choose this. If I right click on this, I didn't even go into ways to change speed and do frame holds and time interpolations and optical flows and all kinds of stuff. So it is just absolutely tremendous. And I don't know if you saw this yet, but right here, this is After Effects is a professional compositing, pardon me. It's an effects and compositing program to do visual effects and all kinds of fun motion graphics. It's got all kinds of great things. And if I go into the audio here and I right click, I can edit this clip in Adobe Audition, which is a highly amazing pro level audio tool to make. They use it for movies. So, and it's not easy, not hard to learn either of those. It's the basics of them. So I'm just saying, this has so many options. And let's say you have a layered Photoshop file. You wanted to bring it in. Well, you certainly can bring it in and do some editing with that as well and make it animate. So just try it out. I'm trying to tell you. So once we're done with our clip, we're going to go up here and do File. I'm sorry, my tablet keeps popping up. We're going to go to File, and then we're going to do Export Media. And that opens up the export settings box. And now you have some options. So in the export settings, you're most likely going to do H.264 if you're going out to the web. And then when you click this preset button, it does it all for you. You want to go to Facebook, 720 or 1080. You want to go to Twitter. You want Vimeo. You want YouTube. It's all here. And we'll just choose YouTube 720 for the heck of it. And then the other thing I would say is click on Max Render Quality so that you can get a really nice pass-through. You're going to want to go into the output name, click on it, and then call it My Demo Render, just so you have something. So maybe you want to go back into Premiere and do some stuff. You don't have to lock up your machine by pressing Export. Export's going to just export whatever's here. The machine's going to be showing, the program I should say, is going to be showing this. If you press Q, however, and we'll just do that really quickly, Q is going to take you to the Adobe Media Encoder, and this is where I always go. I love the Adobe Media Encoder. It lets me do batch stuff, so I may want to put this in. And in fact, for myself, I put my videos up on Facebook and our YouTube channel. And I'll just show you how I do that. Of course, it wants to update something. Nope. So this one right here is what we did, was going out to YouTube. And what I can do is right-click on this and duplicate it, and then go down here instead of custom. And I don't want to go out to YouTube. I'm going to find a different. I'm going to go out to Facebook 720, but I still want maximum. And I'm going to click OK. So now I've got two things going out. In fact, one other thing I like to do when I do this and is to click on this for a second and call this, maybe do FB. So I have a separate file. I know this is the Facebook one. There you go. So you've got, and I would probably put YT here for YouTube. And I certainly can change all that later. So now it depends on how many you're rendering out, but you can put these to all the places you want to go. And when you're ready, you can just click on this and it starts to render right there. And once it's done, it'll do the second one. So you can just take off, do your stuff, everything's getting rendered, and you're ready to go. And then it's going to show up here in the file that I have, the render file. If we just go into there for a second, let's open up a window. And if I go into renders here on my Mac Pro, here's my two videos. I'll click it. And there you go. Premiere Pro is super, super simple. Try it out now. There's a link below. There's tons of advanced tutorials. If you like the way I teach, leave me a comment. I'll do more and show you some more exciting things that you can do with this. But I don't want to, do too many things that people have done already. So I just really wanted to get you excited about trying out Premiere Pro. Download a free 30-day trial below and have some fun. Download some footage if you don't have your own footage, or really bring your own footage in. Go out and shoot some stuff around the neighborhood, make some cool stuff, and then bring it in here to do your editing, and then edit and render and share it with us so we can see it. So that's our video today, guys. I hope you liked it. I hope you can try Premiere Pro. It's a great program. Leave us a comment below. Tell me what you think about it. If you want to see other tutorials about it that you want me to do, let me know. Maybe there's things I can just link to you. But put some comments below. Let's talk about using Premiere Pro. It's not the only editing program out there, but it's a great one. And I love it. I use it all the time. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button and hit that bell so you can get announced when we have a new video up. I'm Dave Basulto. We're out of here.